Welcome back to my channel. Today, this video I wanted to share with you is of this scene here. And before we get into it, if you like this kind of video, if you like this painting, then please give us a like and subscribe. I really would appreciate that. It would help my video to my channel to grow. So please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more like this as often as I can. Okay, so as you can see, I've coated the canvas with black gesso just to bring out some darks, and on the screen you can see the painting that the reference photo for the painting that I'm gonna do. With oil paintings, it's good to have sort of cover your canvas. You can either do a black canvas, which are quite unique, quite different. It really does make the colours pop. So I just wanted to do with the black gesso just some of the areas which are quite dark. Wanted to, obviously, once I start hitting that dark with highlights and midtones, then that will bring a new dimension to the painting itself. So I've just gone in. I've mixed up a sort of mid-tone, sort of bit of yellow ochre, a bit of I think it's burnt umber, and just mix that just to plan out the scene, doing the buildings, the houses on the sort of middle of the picture, and the path running through the scene, which takes your eye to the light of the scene. It's quite a nice scene, a nice photo, and I think I'm going to exaggerate the light in this scene. So I'm going to exaggerate some of the darks, and obviously in oil painting, well, as in watercolour as well, it's an important thing to get the darks. You can't have the lights without having the darks. So similar to watercolour or any medium, it's really the darks that make your lights pop. So that's why I started with the black gesso. I could have covered the whole canvas, but I really don't feel it necessary with this scene, this painting, because I want quite a lot of light to be the sort of centre of the painting, and then it goes to the darks, which is sort of framing the scene itself. So I'm just adding the greens, and you can see, you can make out, but you can see how that dark, that black underneath does add to the atmosphere of the painting. It does give a dimension to the to the foliage that I'm painting in, and it's just at the moment it's just an undercoat, so I'm covering yet, but I will leave quite a bit of that black gesso just to sort of come through, and it gives it that depth into the painting itself. I'm just speeding things up, just blocking in colours, blocking in shapes, and a lot of times with painting it does look worse before it gets better. So I'm actually in the bad stage at the moment, but don't despair, don't take your canvas or give in, or it's just a work in progress. You've got to get through this just blocking in stage, just filling in and covering the canvas. Really, that's all I'm looking to do at this point in the painting process. So if you just bear with me, I'm just blocking in shapes, covering that canvas, filling in the whites. And that's really the beauty of oil painting. It's you're working in layers. So I'm going for the thin paint first, and then as I add to it, I'll start building layers and getting the texture. As this is an oil painting, I've just had to just in order to help me get the next colours and next coats, the different layers. I've actually had to leave this. This is the next day. I'm just going over and laying down more paint. Just because it takes longer to dry. Although having said that, I do have some Griffin Alkyd, I think it's called, and this is a fast drying oil colour. And I actually came to the palette the day after with the I think it's a Payne's Grey. That's a Griffin Alkyd, and it's actually set to a palette. So there are different oil paints that are quick drying, and also I do have a couple that you can water mixable. I can't say I recall trying them, so I don't know quite what they're like. But yeah, just the whole thing, the medium of oils, it does take quite some time to dry. So if you're struggling to get paint on the canvas over the top of other paint, any problems like that, any issues, you may have to either lift some of the paint off. You can use a cloth or even a palette knife just to scrape just the excess paint off, or you can just wait till the next day, and that does normally help. Okay, I'm going to be on and off, so I'll come back and explain different stages I'm doing. But you can see sometimes the time, you just got to put in time, it can be a bit monotonous, but you can see the sort of time that I'm putting into the water here, just using lines, just thin strokes of white over the top of the dark, and that gives nice reflections. One of the things that I've always liked about painting is you don't tend to know how the painting's going to turn out. You have some sort of ideas and thoughts, and you have you just have this overall sort of, if you're going off a reference photo, anything like that, obviously you've got a reference point, but you don't really know how things are going to quite turn out. I know each painting that I do, I start out and it's almost like you've got faith and hope. You sort of you have hope that you can do the painting, and you have all the faith that you can do the painting. But you just got to sort of ride with it, do the best you can, and sometimes it's just a case of time. I don't know if you prefer realistic paintings or sort of abstract, but I find it's just a matter of time. The more time you put into a painting, the better it turns out, and the more real, if you're after that sort of look. So that's all it is for me. I take a paint, I take an image, I look at it, and it's almost like you're a problem solver. You look and you just want to go about whatever subjects it is that you're going to paint, and you sort of work it out as you go along. And a lot of times you don't really have any ideas how things are going to turn out, but like I said, you have that hope that things will go your way. But not to beat yourself up, just enjoy the process. And that's the key. If you enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the painting process, then that's a good, successful painting. And as I said, I wanted to exaggerate the light somewhat on this painting. So I've made most of the dark tones in the on the image itself, and that often allows the light to look that much brighter. So this one, I've made use of highlights, and I've put two figures in the foreground on the left hand side, as you can see, and they have little highlights on their head where the sun's coming down. Just playing around with just the light coming through, the different tones. You can see just adding more details to the windows. And now this is just the final stage of the painting, just touching up different areas, adding the last few details, maybe a few highlights here and there, and just literally just touching up where and when I think it needs doing. Just a few parts where the sun's coming through and hitting different surfaces. Obviously this painting, it looks, I'd say the sun's coming from the right hand side through the trees. And actually I wanted to put just another highlight from just coming through on the path there where the two people are standing, and that just adds a bit more interest to the scene overall. And here's the image, the reference photo that I've done it from, and I didn't want to do it perfect, exactly. I didn't want to copy the photo 100% accurate, but it just as a guideline and as a reference, it's I think it's turned out pretty well. Let me know what you think. If you like and subscribe, I appreciate that, and I'll come back with another painting again soon. Take care. Bye bye.